serious topic.
Yeah.
There's been yet another school shooting. This one occurred in Georgia. A 9th grader named Colt Gray went and shot up another school. I believe it was about 4 casualties, about 7 to 10 hit. And the media running the usual narrative. The broken family narrative. The mother on drugs. The mother was verbally abusive. They said that the neighbor called CPS after witnessing verbal abuse. They showed up, did nothing. The kid was bullied at the school. The grandfather provided the AR-16 that he carried out the hit with. And he used to take him shooting in the woods.
AR-15. We got it. They'll roast our ass over the AR-16.
AR-16. Yeah,
AR-15. AR-15.
That's what I said.
No, you said 16.
Oh, I did. I'm tweaking today.
Bro, trying to get us roasted.
I don't know what the fuck my mind at.
We gonna be on all types of fucking memes.
I don't know what's going on. I'm tweaking today. I done had a lot of caffeine.
I'm like, these niggas ain't knowing shit.
Hey, quick, get the AR-16.
He got. I'm tweaking today. He got. Hey, even Jordan had an off night. Relax.
Shit.
He got questioned by Jackson County deputies over reported threats of shooting up a school in a game chat. So they already had tips that he was already talking about shooting up the damn school. They even came to his house and questioned him about it. So as I'm looking at these school shootings the past 2 years, a high majority of them was committed by these transgender kids, these kids who are confused about their identity. So when people are saying, hey, this is a mental illness, oh, no, it's normal, you got these kids saying they're not being accepted, they're being bullied at school, and they're carrying out these school shootings, which I believe they're being radicalized to do, which is we have yet another fucking case. And it's so wild that before his image hit the media, one of the victims was black. They put the image of the black kid as the shooter, and he was the damn victim. So here go the media painting us to be the villain when we the damn victim. So that's a whole nother topic, but we talk about this book a lot. Y'all zoom in on this. Y'all need to go get this. This was written in 1991. It's called Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. We talk about this book a lot, and the significance of this book is heavy when it comes to do with this topic. Shout out my tinfoil hat gang members out there, because they like to call us conspiracy theorists. And this was wrote in 91. So in chapter 12, The Secret Government, page 225, he wrote, the government encouraged the manufacture and importation of military firearms for the criminals to use. This is intended to foster a feeling of insecurity, which would lead to the American people to voluntarily disarm themselves by passing laws against firearms. Sound familiar? Using drugs and hypnosis on mental patients in a process called Orion. The CIA inculcated the desire in these people to open fire on schoolyards and thus inflame the anti-gun lobby. Sound familiar? This plan is well underway and so far is working perfectly. The middle class is begging the government to do away with the Second Amendment. So right here in 91, he predicted what's going on in 2024. I don't believe in conspiracies. Everything happened for a reason. And put big quotations under hypnosis on mental patients and drugs. So if you watch an episode we did maybe 30, 40 episodes ago where we talked about mass shooters, when the last big major mass shooting happened, and we mentioned MK Ultra and a lot of these people being under hypnosis and being able to be triggered by certain keywords. And Kali pointed out that if you go back in their history, they're always contacted by the FBI, or they always have FBI surrounding them somewhere. And allegedly, I have to say allegedly, it's been reported that according to GPS coordinates, a certain FBI official was seen surrounding that school over 100 times. So the same school that this kid went and shot up, the FBI was around that motherfucker over 100 times. So that's wild. Yeah. He was contacted by the FBI at the crib. They was hanging around his school. They already had tips that he was gonna shoot the school up.
I believe his mom called the day of and said that he was going to be there doing it.
You giving up too much game. But
Behold the pale horse. Go get this
come
book.
out there, nigga. But hey, do y'all believe that? But like y'all said, they took the kid hunting by taking the kid young to kill animals. Do y'all think that can desensitize him as with emotions? Y'all don't think that would make him want to kill something more?
Because when you go out and hunt and you shoot, you're supposed to learn that like it's a sport. It's a sort of a.
Is it really a sport? Because it's people that really don't. It's really people that get offended by people killing animals. Then there's some people that really don't feel like animals should be hunted and killed.
I'm just saying that when you shoot guns and if you went hunting or something like that, you're supposed to be taught the importance of this is a powerful weapon that can take people's lives. You're only supposed to. There's certain things that you.
I'm not asking that though. I'm asking can it desensitize you?
Because
let me say what I'm saying. Because when we associate a kid that, or if we knew a kid that used to kill animals, or you get a rat and be killing it at a young age, and then they start to equate that with the symptoms of a serial killer later down in life. You know what I'm saying?
Most serial killers started out killing animals, and it's like anything in life. You might start smoking cigarettes. That don't get you high enough. You start smoking weed. That don't get you high enough. You start popping pills. You need more and more to reach that dopamine hit. So I think you are right as far as taking him hunting, him killing animals, and he might have got a thirst for blood. Like shooting these rabbits and these deers ain't good enough no more.
Yeah.
I don't think so because there's a lot of people who have gone hunting who haven't committed those acts. And then I also want to point out that a lot of the serial killers that play with animals, it's like taxidermy, which is opening them up and cutting their head off.
They're torturing animals.
Them. They're not going out hunting and shooting. So again, most normal people who hunt.
Keyword normal. This kid got mental issues.
But that's the majority.
Don't even know if he's a fucking boy or a girl. The motherfucker they saying he's transgendered. So you talking about a normal person that's operating with a normal brain, not a kid that's confused about who the fuck he even is, getting beat the fuck up.
But he's technically would be an outlier, so we can't base how he reacts to something and then say that's the majority when it's statistically not.
Okay, aren't most these mass shooters outliers?
Well, here's the thing. It's like martial arts. People might say, oh, if you go teach a kid how to fight, he gonna go around fighting. Actually, the opposite happens. You teach a kid how to fight and defend himself, he's gonna fight way less because now he has confidence and he has discipline and all that stuff. Same thing with hunting. When you go hunting, you learn that a gun is a tool. A gun is not something that's meant to go slaughter people senselessly. You do what you got to do. You shoot an animal. You shoot it once, it's dead. You're not out there shooting it and mutilating and all that. You shoot it.
When you go hunting, are y'all sure that everybody even get taught the same way?
You have to. You have to take classes.
But I know I'm not saying that, but it's some people that's growing up with their fathers and just going to the woods and killing shit. They're not just getting taught. Hey, you need to know the difference between this and the difference between that.
What I would say is that that's the majority of the people, and majority of the people, all they really need is what he's really saying is a lesson on the importance of what you have and how it operates.
I'm not saying what people need. I'm
his
saying what people are
drug
getting.
His parents were drug addicts. So you really think they were teaching him, hey man, this is a tool. This is a.
It ain't many people that's going to and you're going to fucking go take classes on hunting. People are going to just get guns and they go fucking hunt. They're not just taking classes to do all that.
Most people are learning from their parents.
It's people still taking their kids to go to shooting ranges. You think they're going to take classes for that?
Yeah, my kids have been to the shooting range.
I'm just saying, are you sitting there teaching them every single technique about it, or are you teaching them how to shoot and that's about it?
Well, you're teaching them safety for the gun shooter. But what I would compare to is like this. You might learn how to drive and be a great driver, right? But then you go out and drink one night and drive and fucking kill somebody. That's the same thing here. The kid has a issue mentally in one area that spilt over into another area. And the biggest issue with it is in 2023, the FBI was aware that this kid was having thoughts of shooting up his school. They didn't go and say, mandatory, you need to take this kid to go get therapy. You need to do this and do this and do that. They went to this kid, interviewed his grandpa or his dad or whatever, and were just like, go ahead and do your thing. Same thing with the guy who shot up the grocery store in Buffalo, New York. They knew he was planning on doing that. This is not an issue of guns or gun control or serial killers because serial killers hide. They don't just do it and be like,
I never said this was an issue of that.
No.
Only thing I said, do you believe he could have been desensitized by hunting? So in his mind, he could have been hunting at school. He could have been doing a lot of different things. You never know what's going through his head mentally of equating the difference from an animal and a human being. So some people, we just different. We animals that can talk.
Yeah, like
you
a
never know
simple-
how he's viewing certain shit.
like a sociopath.
Yeah.
But these
Him
kids are
specifically, yeah.
these kids are extra sensitive. Desensitized is like you not really emotionally moved by this shit. These dudes are doing it as an emotional response.
Let's be real though. The
But the
number of school shootings has skyrocketed. So this isn't just these kids are sensitive with mental disorders and no, this is being curated to happen. Like
Somebody's
you have to look deeper and realize, hey, this is being orchestrated at some point because bullying been around since human existence been around.
Right.
Kids being outliers have been around since human existence been around. School shootings ain't been around since humans have been around. Guns have been around. People have had guns. I mean, shit, kids back in the day had easier access to guns, I would say, from their parents. Most parents today are terrified to teach their kid about guns. But you go out in the country, they shooting at 5, 6 years old. They walking around with the guns, with their parents, with their granddads, with their fathers, with their moms. Kids out here probably never touch a gun till we get one from our friends on the street.
Hey,
So it's totally different. So I don't believe, because he's getting bullied. Motherfucker, you know how many kids get
It has
bullied
nothing
and
to-
don't go shoot
we're
up
not saying
schools?
it.
You know how many kids is confused about who they are and don't go shoot up
I'm
schools?
with you
You gotta
100%.
follow the trends.
I'm with you 100% because if you look at like Mike Williams, Burkham Duca, these are people who the FBI literally tricked into attempting to commit mass shootings, bombings, and then they arrested them. So the FBI has a history of kind of like creating these little like Manchurian candidates.
The man who was assassinated told you this is a part of the plan to get you to disarm yourself.
Yeah.
Because every time this shit happens, the first thing you see in the comments, we need to take the guns.
Yep.
We need to get the guns.
Yep.
You dumb bitch. The people who are using these guns for crimes, they're not going to get them registered with their names on them. So you're begging to take away your rights to defend yourself. Meanwhile, the illegal guns is still going to be
Just
illegal.
like
on the
that.
It
street.
don't
I
even
feel
matter.
like-
It don't
I
even
feel like
matter
that's
at this
why.
point because people know how to make guns from scratch. So guns would never be moved off the planet of Earth no more.
But I feel like that's why it's important to kind of make sure that we put the emphasis on these cases or outliers in a way, because if we group it in with the majority, then I think that is somewhat what the government and the media are trying to do, to be able to say, this is the majority, let's get rid of the guns. So I feel like we do have to draw a line in the sand to be like, these niggas over here, they're weird. If they, I do believe that they're a part of a bigger scheme, but I think it is to get rid of guns. So when you have a mass shooting every month or every week, the media can trick you into it being the majority because it's plastered all over the place. But you have 100,000, 200,000 kids or whatever that shoot guns that don't do nothing. Then what happens to all those people and those citizens with guns? It gets taken away because now it's looked at as, again, if you got a gun, you might be crazy and go shoot. So let's take it all away. So they're trying to make it the majority when it's not.
What they're doing is they changed the definition of a mass shooting. Last year they had a situation where they said a mass shooting happened in San Pedro, California, right by where our business is. Yep. They went and investigated that. It was a gang shooting. 2 gangs was at a park and shot at each other. That's not a mass shooting. That's gang violence. If this is the case, we should have a mass shooting every day in Chicago, every weekend, because 80 people get killed on a weekend. It's all a trick, like you said, behold the pale horse, to convince you to disarm yourself through fear. It's called fear-based programming. If we put this shit in front of your face enough, we will make you think that this is a bigger problem than it really is. Mass shootings don't even account for 1% of all shooting deaths in America in one calendar year, right? But if they keep saying, oh man, too many mass shootings, we need to get rid of guns. Okay, so we need to get rid of guns because of this kid going in and killing 4 people. But 80 people died in Chicago. And the governor and the mayor wouldn't even let Trump send the damn FBI into Chicago to investigate why so many gun-related deaths are happening. These people aren't doing this because they want to save you. They're not doing this because they care about your safety. They're doing this because they want to disarm you so they can do shit to you like what they're doing in Australia right now, what they're doing in fucking Britain, in the UK right now. Motherfuckers can't even post something on Facebook getting damn near 20 years in prison for a Facebook post. What the consensus is that if you abuse the people will rise up against you if they have the ability to engage you on an even ground. They want to make the odds even more uneven in their favor. That way you will just lay down. Go look up Romania. Go look up Eastern Europe. They disarmed those populations and the governments just became unbearably corrupt. And when the people would try to go and protest, man, they send the police there and just fuck their ass up.
Complete tyranny. That's what you're going to
Tyranny,
have.
yes.
Listen, as long as they got guns, you need guns. It don't make no sense for one side who's already proven to be untrustworthy to be the only side with the guns. All you got to do is go down in history. History always repeats itself. Look at any civilization where the government was the only ones armed. It ain't going to turn out good for the citizens. So as long as they got guns, you need guns. So stop letting them fearmonger you. Not only that, look at this migrant shit. Where the fuck you think they getting them guns? These motherfuckers is getting armed. They giving them money. They giving them houses. They giving them guns. They letting them do whatever. So imagine if we all said, okay, gun control. We need to stop these mass shootings. Let's give our guns away. Then you got these thousands of migrants coming over here with them same AR-15s that you just gave away. How you gonna protect yourself and your family?
In Denver, they robbed 10 gun stores in Denver, Venezuelan migrants. They said, a guy made a comment, you mean to tell me after the second gun store, the police didn't put a officer at every gun store in the city to make sure they don't do that? No, they want them to be armed because let me tell you, I want you guys to understand this. Because if you go to Africa or a third world country, you see how this shit works. These will be the political gangs that they use to inflict violence upon you when you try to vote against them. This is what happens in Africa, Colombia, third world countries. They employ this is what's happening in Haiti right now. Political gangs are being used to terrorize the population until they capitulate to supporting a government they no longer want. The shit's coming at you. You see it coming like a slow ass pitch. Don't be dumb. Recognize the signs and act accordingly.
That's a fact. Y'all got to wake the fuck up, man.